the agent's job, as you said, is to create a better market. So Sexton just putting that out there, if he did or didn't. I mean, Diana Rossini's a reputable reporter within the NFL circles.
Yeah.
Whatever, let's just say that happened. Then all Jimmy's doing is creating opportunities for his other clients who might be interested in the Texas job to get better deals and more money. It's all a money circle, but it just creates.
So let me ask you this question. Jimmy Sexton represents a lot of people, including Lane Kiffin.
Right. It's all connected. Jimmy Sexton represents all of, like, if there's a coach that's in a big program that's making a lot of money, Jimmy Sexton reps him, and it all.
One of the few people he does not represent is Brian Keller.
Yeah, we saw that in the SEC documentary on Netflix when he was talking to his guys. So at the end of the day, it's all about money, and that's what this has become. But I just hate this in-coaching BS because it just takes the attention away from the game and puts it squarely on things that don't need to be talked about right now. Speaking of things that need to be talked about, I said Texas A&M could argue they're the number one team in the country. So could Indiana. Now, I get it. The resume with Indiana, not great, but boy, do they bludgeon anyone that comes across them.
You know what? I really am a big fan of Curt Cignetti. I think he's a very likable, engaging personality. And I was watching that game on the plane yesterday coming back, and what a great story. And I'm just so glad that all of us in college football have wrapped our arms around Curt.
There you go. That's the good way to handle Indiana right now, because their fans, boy, they'll come and get you no matter what. Look, and they're going to have something to say about it. I would say right now, based on everything that I see in front of me, we talked about yesterday, their schedule, Indiana, they're in the Big Ten championship and they're in the college football playoff. They've got Maryland, Penn State, Wisconsin, Purdue. They're in. I mean,
and Matt. They're really good. I can say that. I mean, I try to follow college football like you do, and anyone who says they're not really good, I'm far more impressed this year than I was last year.
Yeah, they're dominant. I mean, in every phase, they're dominant. Again, we have fun with it because of Curt Cignetti, but they did go on the road and beat Oregon, who had to mess with the weather yesterday to beat Wisconsin. Either way, Indiana, congratulations. You were the first team in the college football playoff schedule. You're not losing any of those games that are coming. So that's where we are. We're heading into Halloween week. Hard to believe. Paul, give me a table setter for next week as we are now heading into, hard to believe, the last week for the final month of the season.
Yeah, Matt, I need some help from you from the rest of the schedule, because in the SEC, it's pretty weird. You've got the Vandy at Texas game that nobody really thought about, and you have Georgia, Florida, which may be about as off Broadway as it's ever been.
Yeah, and you bring up Vandy. I mean, they got the win against Missouri yesterday, 17-10, kind of a slugfest. Clark Lee's premonition of you got to go through Nashville for the SEC a few years ago was kind of like laughing material, but now it looks to be true. Left for Vandy at Texas, as you said. Who knows, again, what's going to be happening with our guy Arch and the concussion protocol. Texas, Auburn, Kentucky, Tennessee. I mean, they're only the one that stands out, obviously, at Texas. Again, we'll see who's playing quarterback. But all that's left there is at Tennessee.
Yeah, no, you're right. What's really interesting is that Vandy finally got taken seriously yesterday. I know the insiders have been taking them seriously all along, but I think if you pull the camera back for just a second and you look at these stories, and I know you talk about it every Saturday, but Georgia Tech, Virginia, Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
You literally, you couldn't have convinced me of any of this, or anyone for that matter, 4 months ago when it was all about Penn State, LSU, and Clemson. And of course, Ohio State as well. They're the forgotten school. I mean, are they? I'm not even sure Ohio State's still playing football right now. Do you know?
Bye week, they're just going to beat the hell out of whoever they play next, and they move it because their schedule is not great. I mean, they're the last thing in front of them, I think, is Michigan, and we'll see if Ryan Day can get that done. But to your point, I mean, even last night on Final, we were talking about like Cincinnati. Cincinnati stubbed their toe against Nebraska, but they're at top of the Big 12 with BYU, who looks – I mean, this is – I'll say this. We can be kind of curmudgeon with portal and NIL and these players making a ton of money, and sometimes maybe the motivation is lost on the field because they're getting paid a ton to play. and there's no repercussion. It's like you got the money, you don't have to pay it back. It's these other schools now that you mentioned, Virginia, Vanderbilt, some of these teams that actually they look hungrier than some of these traditional blue bloods because the playing field has been leveled in college football, and that any week an upset's capable. North Carolina went for 2 to beat Virginia yesterday. It's just one of those years, Paul, where anything can happen because I think the portal has allowed rosters to be retooled and rebuilt. And Wake Forest beat SMU, last year's participant in the ACC, and a playoff team on a last-second field goal with a first-year head coach.
What was so sad, and I was, the luxury of being on a plane and watching a bunch of games. But I watched the end of the North Carolina Virginia game, and it was ACC Network. Matt, I really don't remember who was calling the game, but they were alibiing for Bill Belichick for going for 2, and what a great call it was, and it was the right decision, as if he was some 5-year coach about to get fired, and they were just trying to make him look good. I mean, and you just forget this is Bill Belichick here, and you talk about how all these other things have happened, how quickly the perception of this guy has changed, where some guys on the ACC network were trying to prop him up because he made such a gutsy call to go for 2.
It's been, I don't even know what to think about this season.
You want this, you got that.